the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, and verse 3. Seek ye the Lord Yahweh, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness, it may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. All right, Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 8. Therefore, wait ye upon me, saith the Lord Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. Verse 9. For then will I turn to the people a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of the Lord Yahweh to serve him with one consent. Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yahweh, Bahashem, Hawadash. Bless you, Yahweh, bless you, Yahweh, in the name of the Holy Spirit. First, I'm going to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh, Bahashem, Hawadash. All praises to the Heavenly Father, who the word ignorantly calls God. His one and true name is Yahweh. In the name of his only begotten Son, who the word ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. His one and true name is Yahweh. In the name of the Holy Spirit. All right, double honors to the elder apostle, elder bishops of Great Millstone, still be well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom, shalom. Right, and the main reason why I brought out Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 3, because those that seeking the Lord are going to get this information. And I'm about to go into some Hebrew, but those that seeking the Lord are going to get all this intel, all these downloads, right? It says, then I went to Zephaniah 3 to bring out that the Lord going to turn to us a pure language, right? And that pure language is the Paleo Hebrew, all right? I was going to show some books, all right? This says the ancient Hebrew language and alphabet, right? From Jeff A. Beener, right? Same thing. The ancient Hebrew lexicon, right, of the Bible, right? Hebrew letters, words, root divine within their ancient cultural contents, right? So, you know, two things that I'm about to get into. Again, I brought out Zephaniah 3 and 9, because the Lord gonna turn to us a pure language. All right, so I wanted to get straight into this alphabet real quick. For those that might be new in the truth and might not be familiar with the Hebrew, we'll get into a quick little lesson, so you'll be able to understand what we're speaking, why we speak it, right? So I wanted to get into it. Give me 1 second. I just want to find it. All right. I want to bring out really just a conclusion on this. All right, I want to bring out a conclusion on this. Is that this book with the Hebrew, it contained within the book are tools you will need to begin searching the pictographic meanings of Hebrew words. There are other resource materials which you will find beneficial in your word studies, are dictionaries such as Vine's expository dictionary of biblical words, or Strong's Hebrew dictionary. I got a different one. I got the lexicon. Going to certain Hebrew words. It says, I don't get it. If you're not an Israelite, it's not meant for you to get. But if you are Israelite, just listen up, and then you'll be able to understand what I'm about to go into. But if you're not an Israelite, it's not meant for you to get. But I wanted to get just bring in the conclusion that this Hebrew is the holy tongue of our people, right? And we're gonna get straight into it. I'm just bring out the alphabet first. And you got the A, you got the Ba, you got the Ga, you got the Da, the Ha, Wa, Za, Kha, right? And you got the the ta, the ya, the ka, the la, ma, na, sa, right? Um, the la, ma, na, sa. You got the ah, the pa, the taza, the kwa, the ra, and then you got the sha and the tha, right? And so I'm gonna get into some of these. That's 22 letters for the Hebrew alphabet for our people to understand that. The original alphabet that we know, the English alphabet has more than, if I'm gonna say, got 27 characters, if I'm not mistaken. But our alphabet only has 22, because certain we don't have any vowel points. So I wanted to get into what that word, that first character, the ah, right? The ah is I don't know if y'all can see that. All right, the ah is the ah, and that's the first letter in the Hebrew, and it adds up to 1,000, right? But when you get into that word, it means strength. It means the head. So it says the pictograph that you've seen is all sources agree that the original form of this letter, the ox head, right, is that A with the slash through it. It's like a little sideways A. If you turn that all the way upside down, you get a little ox head, right? If you look at it right there, I got it written right beside it. But if you turn it all the way up, you'll get the same thing as that, right? The ox head. It says the mnemonic meaning behind it. It's got the ox is the strongest of the livestock animals. It's the yoke. The ox is placed in a yoke for pulling a load or plowing. Then it got the chief, an older, experienced ox as the leader. So also the goes into leader, right? More experience, for better words. Then they got what's often yoked to a younger oxen to teach him, right? They got the oak tree, the strongest of the woods. It's just comparing certain meanings behind something that's a strong, a leader, right? It's going into it said the oak tree, the chief, the elder oxen, right? Then it's going into the ram, the strong leader of the flock. Then he got the stag, the strong leader of the forest. Then the fat tail, the strong part of the sheep. Then you got pillar, ark, the strong members which support a building. So it's breaking down meanings, what's holding up that strength. You know what I'm saying? For better words, like the head oxen teach the younger oxen as a leader, as a chief. Then you got the oak tree being one of the strongest oak trees in the world, right? That's going into strength, as I was saying. Means strength, right? Then you got the ram, meaning a strong leader of the flock. Then it goes into got the stag, a strong leader of the forest, and the fat tail, a strong part of the sheep. Then you got pillars, and if you look into any temple, any building, they got pillars. You got pillars set up, just big pillars set up, and the pillars support the building. It's the support system, for better words. It's the strength of the building, for better words, right? You know how you got like skyscrapers. You got skyscrapers. They have metals, and they have certain support metals, certain support systems that's within the building for the structure of it, right? To keep it from imploding on itself, to keep it from being damaged by wind, to keep it from being damaged by storms. It's the same when it comes to us trying to figure out the Hebrew word for strength, right? We have to take it in aspect in our brain and go, okay, a pillar means it's the it holds the foundation, for better words. Lord willing, I ain't losing anybody, right? So let's keep going. And then you got other meanings for it. The goes into it goes to it says el or al hala, for better words, hala, and again it goes into strength, right? Then let's get the next Hebrew word ba, right? You got it says bayat, right? It says bayat, but it's ba, right? So the bayat goes into bayath, which is house, right? And I'm gonna get there. It says as you see my Hebrew character right beside it, it's like a house. It's like It got like a door, then it got the rest of the house, for better words. As a symbol or pictograph, you can understand, for better words, when you see the ba, or when you see this Hebrew word, and you see the ba in that Hebrew letter, then you can understand it's talking about house. So let's get that. It says the Hebrew word bayat means, which is bayath, means house or tent, right? It says there are various suggestions to the original form of this letter, including, then they got other forms the way it might look, right? All right, it says, and it got the last form over the way it look now. It said the picture Bayath is a perfect representation of the nomadic tent, which was divided into two sections, a man's and woman's, with the entrance at the front of the tent in the men's section and an entrance from the men's to the women's section. It says the menonomic meaning family, house, one family, right? It says family, the residents of the tent, right? Those that dwell within that tent, those that dwell within that bayat. It says residents of the tent inside the family that is inside the tent is of importance, not the structure itself, right? So again, that's the Hebrew word for ba. So we just brought out ba. So we about to get into ga, right? Ga, as you see. And to be honest, I actually did that the wrong way. Slankia, let me correct that. It kind of like a 7, Slankia. The God kind of like a 7. So I corrected myself on that, Slankia, because I was thinking of La, but it kind of like a 7, kind of like a pointed down 7. When you look at it, it goes into God, and the pictographic form is the earliest known pictograph for the letter. Is that little L looking shape, and it's probably a pictograph form of a foot, similar to the Egyptian hieroglyph of a foot. But if you get into that word, it goes into Gamal, for better words. And if you look at it, so some brothers, for me, the way I learned it in the way, I thought of it as a camel's hump. I thought of it as a camel hump, because a camel's hump holds water. So that's how I thought of this the God. When every time I see the God, I think of a camel's hump, or for a better word, a camel's head. You know, so because they got a long head, they got a long neck and a little head. So I was thinking of that, but you know what I'm saying. Then this book is going into that. It's similar to a foot, right? For the way it look. They trying to say that would be a man's foot, but you know what I'm saying. As I learned it, I consider it as either a hump of a camel or a pointed letter like an upside down L, for better words, or a 7, right? It says the menonomic meaning, to walk, gather, carry, the function of the foot. See, so then it goes to a group, a gathering of people or things. Okay. It says the syllabic name, the modern Hebrew name for the letter is Gimel or Gamal, the Greek Gamma, and the Arabic Jim. The name for this letter provided us with the original 2 letter. Then you got Gam, meaning to gather. So when you get into the word Ga, it means to gather, or to walk, carry, right? And it goes into the function of a foot, for better words. And Lord willing, I'm not losing anybody. Then we go into the da, right? The da. We go into the da, and that goes into the ancient alphabet charts, including 2 possibilities for the ancient pictographic form for this letter. And it got a fish, right? It got dog in Hebrew, right? And it says then it got the da, a picture of a tent door. So it goes into door, right? Or dialect, right? Dialect. A tent door, dal, or dialect in Hebrew. Or as we say, dayath or dalath. Dalath. The modern name for this letter is it got dalath, meaning a door, indicating that the original form of the letter is as you see, like a door, man. It's like an entryway, right? Or doorway to the house, to the bayah, right? So let's keep going. It says we got the next letter, ha, right? And the ha um, is a very important form because you see that a lot, right? And in this form, it won't look like that. It'll look more like this on how brothers and sisters probably see it. But this is the ancient form of it. Just like you see me up here, right? I did the da, um, but I would have did it different. I would have did instead of that. I would have did a when I do most of my Hebrew, I would have did a if I'm not mistaken a triangle, right? For the modern, and I ain't got my Hebrew Bible at my disposal at the moment. It's put up, but yeah, I would have did like a triangle, right, for the doorway or for the tent doorway, because the tent look like a triangle, for better words. So Flonky, that's neither here nor there. So let me keep going. It says the ha. So the ha the ha, right? It like a little man, it like a little stick figure, right? It says most all sources agree that the original picture is it says a man with his arms raised up, right? A man praising the Lord, for better words, for the ha, right? And it says with his arms raised out as if pointing towards something, right? Pointing towards Yahweh Shemashah, pointing towards God, for better words. All right. It says the mnemonic meaning, look, when one sees a great sight, he throws his arms toward it inside, saying, look at it, or reveal, and pointing to a sight to show to another breath as when sign, or it's like, but it still show a man like, as it give you a sigh like or it's like, hey, or call Lord, how about you now shine? And that's how I take it. About giving all praise to the Lord. This us being men in this form, giving all praise to Yahweh about Shemel Shah. So that's how I look at it. But again, I brought out the definition for that, and it's beautiful still. Regardless, each one is beautiful. Then we got the next Hebrew word, the wah, right? The wah, the wah. See that? It look like a Y or a little fork, right? It says the ancient alphabet charts include two possibilities for the ancient pictographic form for this letter, and it's like either like a spoon or like a fork, like not the fork with 3 points, but a fork with just 2 points, or it could be like a stick that got 2 points that you hold on to something with. So I'm gonna get into a certain. It says the Hebrew word is wah means a peg, right? Or it can be if I'm not mistaken, a stake that you stab down the tent ropes with, for better words, the tent ropes. If I understand, like a stake you stab down tent ropes with, that's a better way. A tent peg, yep. The tent pegs were made of wood and may have been Y shaped. So yeah, like a stake, as in the first picture, to prevent the rope from slipping off. Right, and we have those now, and with tents, you know what I'm saying, to get that tent from flying away, you put down that stake, and you stick that. You basically put down this tent peg or this tent fork, and you keep the rope down in the ground, and however long they are, it keep the tent from blowing away during storms and stuff. Hey, Shalom King Yahweh Shemam Shabbat Shem Krakadash Barakatah. Yeah, I just had to bring out some Hebrew for those that come across the channels. It says it says the mnemonic meaning. It means to add secure. The peg is used for securing or tying the tent or other items together. See that? So it's not only a thing used for stationary situations, but it's also a thing used to bind things together or to bring things together, for better words. Right? It says, let's go to the next. We got Zah. Right? We got the Zah. Right, as you see. Little William, you see that? Got the Zah, and then the Hebrew letter look like a ah, like the English ah. Where it goes into it says the picture of an unknown agricultural tool, probably a type of plow, hoe or sickle, right? And it kind of goes into the ancient Egyptian, because again, a lot of stuff is basically ancient Canaanite, so pro Canaanite, proto Canaanite, for better words, and so Egyptians had things that look similar to our alphabet, right? So I wanted to show this. It says the Egyptian hieroglyph is very similar and is a hoe, and the hoe is a gardening tool, and it may be originally the original form of this letter. So they look like a hoe, but it can also look like a sickle, and a sickle also is another like tool used for chopping down wheat and stuff, gathering wheat, putting stuff in one area. It's so it all makes sense, you know. It says so when we see za in the Hebrew, when we see that ah, it's like an English ah, just think of a gardening tool or a sickle, because it's think of an incomplete form of a sickle, for better words. Because here's the complete form of it, right? So just think of that, and you know what I'm saying, Lord willing, y'all can see that. All right, it says let's get the syllabic name. The modern Hebrew name is it got the Zion, right? A derivative of the two-letter word Zon, meaning crops, which is the original Greek name for this letter, right? So there you go. All right, so let's get the next word. We got the ka. We got ka, and it goes into it like a ladder. That's how I always be able to remember it. The ka, not ka, but the ka, the CHAA. It looks like a ladder or a sideways ladder, right? And it goes into it got a couple possibilities. It says it's the first can be used apparently for a string or cord, and it got the second is a man with his arm extended and belongs to the fifth letter ha. It says the third is a nomadic tent wall, which is ka or hats in the Hebrew. It says and two horizontal lines are the top and bottom, and the four vertical lines being the poles. All the letters from 3000 BCE to the present day in the Hebrew or Arabic, Greek, and their sister cultures have used a derivative of the third pictograph, the tent wall. So this could be considered ladder or the tent wall, as they say, or string or cords, right? And the Manan meaning for this can be outside, inside the functions of the wall, right? Is to separate these two. Half a divided into two parts. Secular, what is outside, arrow, sling, stone, from the dividing of flesh, right? And you got another meaning wall. Most likely the original name for this letter, meaning wall. So when you see that, the kha, when you see the kha, just think of wall. Think of the tent walls or the exterior of a wall. And you know, I always think of a ladder, you know, because it look like that. But you can think of a wall, exterior of a wall, a ladder, or you can think about a string or cord, right? All right, so let's keep going. The next Hebrew word is the ta, right? The ta, right? You see that ta? It look like a circle with a cross in it or a T in it, or a lowercase t. And it says the oldest form. It got the oldest form of the original pictograph is this, what I just showed y'all, the ta. And apparently a type of basket or container. So when you look at the ta in the Hebrew, just think of a basket. Just look inside of a basket, and what do we have in the inside of it? Let me see if I can find one. Give me 1 second, just to prove a point. That'll be beautiful if I can prove this point. Give me 1 second, y'all, Charlotte. All right, Solankia. All right, I couldn't find what I was looking for, so I'm gonna have to go clean out some stuff. So Solankia, but like if you look down in the basket, that's what it would look like. It have like certain things that look similar to the top, right? And it says I hate that I couldn't show y'all. It says also it got a syllabic meaning mud or clay for the name of this letter. Then you got the you got the meaning of what I was saying. It goes into baskets were used for storing foods, supplies, and other necessities of the nomadic life. It says mud, clay, a material for making baskets and other containers. So kind. So, you know what I'm saying, Lord willing, when you see that, you think of a basket, think of the inside of a basket. Or think about how we made baskets back in the day. All right, so let's keep going. We got the Yah for the next Hebrew character. The Yah, right? The Yah. It says the most ancient form of this letter is an arm or hand. So it goes in like it look like an arm, right? It look like an arm like this. If you really look at it, right? That's what it look like. See that? It says the metonymic meaning. It goes into work, make, throw, right? And you gotta do all that with your arm and stuff. From the function of the hand, see? Shout from the place of the hand. Like if you shouting, right? It says at the mouth for amplification. And they got Slanky. All right, Slanky. Yeah, my damn kidding. Then they got worship, thanks. Because the hand gesture, when you give thanks, Then they got giving of the hand as a gesture, right? And as I said, the Yah, it looks like an arm. It looks like an arm with a hand on it, right? Then it goes into work, make, throw, and you need all that with your arm. You need all that with an arm and hand, right? Then they got the Let's go to the next. So when you see that word, the Yah in the Hebrew, just think of arm or hand, right? To something that is used to work, create something, make, or throw something, right? Or you can use it for shouting, right? To amplify your shout. Lord willing, this making sense. It's got the let's go to the next Hebrew word, the ka, right? The ka. See? The ka. And then it's another way. I put it the other way, how I would normally write it in the Hebrew. I put it my way as well, so you can see that. This is how most brothers write it, but I'll put it in this way because that's another way to write it as well, right? It look kind of like a backwards K, for better words. It says the pictographic form, the ancient form of this letter is, you got the ka, then it says the open palm of a hand, right? The open palm of a hand. And you see my hand, they got the open palm, right? Then they got the two lines in the middle, or for better words, my finger bone structure, right? That's what it looked like. Thumb, pinky, two other, which we could put three. It could have been three that they could have did, but they just did two to symbolize an open palm, right? That was the best way they could have did it back in the day, right? So you can understand, right? See that? The arm with the hand come down here to the open palm of the hand, right? And they did it that way because that was the best way they can put it together in understanding. And it says the metonymic meaning, it says sole, the palm of the foot, right? So, or the palm of the foot, for better words. Bend, curve, then you got the shape of the open palm. Then you got the bow, palm branch. From the curved palm shape, tame, subdue. From the bending of the wheel, as an open hand signifies submission. Right? Because what people do when they surrender, they go like that, right? So I just wanted to say that. So with that word, when you see that word ka, see, ka goes into the word meaning open palm of hand, or palm, for better words. All right, so let's go to the next. Let's go to the law. All right, and this is what I had got mixed up with the God earlier, because I put that because I was thinking about the law a whole lot. Hey, Shalom, King Yahweh Shem El Shah, Bashem Kakadash Bakata. The blood brother, servant of Yahweh Yahweh Shah, Texas branch, Laban and Pash. Go subscribe to them brothers. Go subscribe to that brother. Go subscribe to the blood brother, servant of Yahweh Yahweh Shah, Vegas Apprentice 144. Right, the beloved brother Mashiach Raz Chicago, subscribe to them brothers. Right, we got the next Hebrew character, La. we got the la, right? And if you get into that the Hebrew word, it'll be lamad, right? Lamad. It's you got a pictographic form. The ancient picture is it like a shepherd's staff upside down, for better words. It's like a shepherd's staff upside down, or like a hook, right? It says a shepherd's staff, right? It says the menonomic meaning toward the staff was used to push or pull, right? Because it got two ends. You can use one end to pull something to you, and you use the other end to push it away from you, right? Or pull one of the flock in a direction. Authority. The staff is as a sign of the shepherd's authority. Yoke, a staff on the shoulders of the oxen for directing. Bind, tie from the fastening of the yoke. All right, so Khan, just want to say that. So when you're thinking about the word law, it goes into the shepherd's staff. It goes to also it goes into the yoke, a staff on the shoulders of an oxen. So when you think about law in the Hebrew, you got to think about that staff that the shepherd will use to make sure that the goats ain't going astray. Like he got one part of it, and that's why I got a hook. That's why I got a hook like that, right? Because that part with the hook, he used it to probably grab one of the sheep by the head, put them back in line. And the other part he probably pops him with it, right? Or he'll pop a predator away from him, right? So let's keep going. The next Hebrew character is the mah. You got the mah, right? All right, in the pictographic form, it's the ancient picture is it look like water, it look like waves, right? It look like waves. I'm gonna show that again. So when you see mah in the Hebrew, think of waves, think of ocean waves, right? Think of ocean waves, or mountain for better words, but I'm gonna say ocean waves. It says the pictographic form of the ancient picture is ma. It got waves of water. See that? The menonomic form sea, a large body of water, chaos from the storms of the sea. Because what happens when it's a storm? The waves go be back and forth, right? It says mighty, massive, from the size of the sea. Who, what, when, where, why, how. The sea is the place of the unknown, representing any unknown thing, blood, grape juice as liquids. All right, then it says the you'll see the ma, another word you'll see as mayam or mayam, right? Mayam, and they got its the syllabic name, right? Goes to mayam, meaning waters, and in its plural form, two letter the ma, right? So let's go to the next. We bringing it out, right? Got the na for the next, the na, and this is one of my favorites. To remember this one, I always look at it as either like a seedling, like from a plant that's getting ready to pop out of the seed, right? Like from a plant, a little seedling that's coming out the ground, getting ready to pop out of the seed. Or you can look at it as sperma, the seed, right? For better words, again, the seed, a sprout. It says the pictographic form of the ancient picture is nah, a seed sprout. See that? But it looked like a little sperm sprout, like a little child or a being, if you understand. It says the menonomic meaning continue, perpetuate. The seed perpetuates or continues the plant generation. So again, that's why I said that it kind of like sperm, right? When you or as they say, a seedling or a seedling sprout, right? But when you get into that, it goes into generations, right? It goes into a plant generations of this seedling sprout. Same with sperma, the generation of that man, right? So that's a good way to remember that it's the generation of a plant or offspring, right? So I'm getting to that. It says continue, perpetuate. The seed perpetuates or continues the plant generation after generation. Offspring. It says heir. See that? The perpetuation of the father through his children. See that? So this is showing you the seeds through the father. Also, to throw that out there as well to those of you who deal with matriarchs, this is through the bloodline of the fathers, man. All right. So when you see the nah, think of either sperm or a seedling sprout, a plant seedling, for better words. Then let's go to the next Hebrew word. Lord willing, I'm not losing anybody, Lord, and I know it's kind of long, but just bear with me. This is Sa, right? We got the Sa, and this kind of like how can I say, a thorn bush or a thorn, maybe an antenna back in the day, antennas that they put on top of houses, right? So as you see the Sa, right? You see, kind of like a thorn or an antenna they used to put on people's houses, man. It said the four possibilities for this original form for this letter are, and they got a fish. I guess it could be labeled as a fish skeleton, or they got possibly a thorn, right? So if you look at a thorn, if you ever touch the rose, if you look at it, got the rose and down below got the one sting, then you got thorns on each side. So that's closer to being able to explain on what the Sa would look like if you've seen it in the Hebrew. It says all the letters from 3000 BCE to the present day in the Hebrew, Arabic, Greek, and their sister cultures have used the derivative of Sa, suggesting that this is the original letter. Then they got the mnemonic meaning. It's got shield. Thorn bushes were used by the shepherd to build a wall, shield made to enclose his flock during the night to protect them from predators. And they got flock as protected in the walls of thorns, pierced sharp from the sharpness of the thorn. Warrior as a wall of sharp weapons for protection. And they got boot as protection from thorns. Hate as a piercing of the heart. See that? And it goes, and if you get into this word, the the Sa, right? The Sa, right? They want you to think of a wall of protection, for better words. When you see that, a shield of thorn bushes, for better words, right? Then let's go down to the next Hebrew word. It goes into is ah ah, and they got, as you see, it's gonna say gone. As you see, it look like an eyeball, man. Right? And in the Hebrew character for that, that's what it is. It's like an eyeball. It's then they got the and right? Or gone, as you say, it means It says watch, pay attention, heed, as keeping a close eye on something. So that's why I got an eyeball for the representation. Cover as a shading of the eyes to remove the glare of the sun. Furrow formed between the eyes from squinting. Affliction, worry, poor, humble, one with a furrow between the eyes. Occupation, one paying attention to the task. Abode, as a place carefully watched. Spring, source, the eye of the landscape. Ostrich, owl, a bird that watches. So we also can compare when we see that that gone, right? When we see that, we can think of being watchman, right? Being watchman, right? Being an owl, because an owl can look 360 degrees, if I'm not mistaken, right? Being as an owl, watching, right? On the watch, a bird that's watching, right? Abiding in something, meaning just similar to occupying, right? Occupying something. So we are abiding, meaning keeping a watchful eye out for the sake of coming on Mashiach Yahweh Shah, man. A watchful eye out for these things to come, man. So that's what we can consider this gone to be part of a bird's eye, eagle's eye, or a bird's eye, owl eye, and which symbolizes occupation, abiding in something. So you're kind. No will I lose anybody. All right, let's look at the next Hebrew word. We're going into pa. Pa. As you see, the pa, it look like a open mouth or like lips, for better words. Then as you see over here, the other form would do like a how can I say a cane, right? It says these are several Canaanite pictographs believed to be this letter, none of which resemble a mouth. Is that the meaning of the name of the letter? The South Arabian and Egyptian pictograph is the same thing and does look like a mouth, right? So that's why most of the Hebrew, Arabic, Greek, and their sister cultures use a pictograph similar to this. So even the Greeks, the Egyptians even use the same symbol, the same one, to mean mouth or the shape of a mouth. Because if I close it, it look just like what I'm showing y'all, right? It look just like that. Closed mouth, it look just like it, man. So it says the metonymic meaning speak, word, blow, right? So that's all dealing with the mouth, lips. The function of the mouth, scatter by blowing. Edge, the lips as the edge of the mouth. Sword, beard, things with edges. Here, region, a place with an edge. See that? So it's also synonymous to a region, right? So con. But always remember when you see that, you just think of mouth. Think of shape of a mouth, shape of lips, right? The edge of lips, or for better words. So let's go into the next Hebrew word. We got the it's gonna say tasad, but it's tazah, right? And I didn't even write that beside it, but it's tazah. Right, it's the tazah. When you get into that Hebrew word, it goes to side, like somebody, like a man laying on his side, man. That's kind of what it looked like. A dude laying on his side. It looked similar to the seedling sprout, the sperm, which deals with a man as well, or you know, but it's going into so you can understand that it's like a man laying on his side, like this is my head and this is my body, no arms, right? And it says pictographic form. The three ancient pictograph possibilities for this letter are and they got like I don't know what that is, Slankia. It got I can't even tell what that is, Slankia Israel. But it got a man laying down. Then it got a shorter version of the man laying down. Then it says the word tazah, right? Tazah says means side, as a man laying on his side. It may be the meaning of the last two pictographs. The Hebrew, Arabic, Greek, and their sister cultures use pictographs, which closely resemble the last picture, indicating that this was the original form of the letter. So it's just like a man laying on his side. And so when you see tazah, just think of a man laying on his side, or meaning side, right? The metonymic meaning behind it is hunt, chase, as one laying on his side or crouched in concealment, right? Net, snare, tools of the hunter. So when you think of tazah, just think of tools of a hunter. That a hunter is either laying down, waiting for his prey to come by with a sniper rifle, right? For better words, or he's setting up traps, right? The snares, the nets. Lord willing, making sense. Like you can think of it as a tool. A man laying down using tools, or a man creating tools, or making traps, for better words. It says fortress, stronghold, tower, a place to lay in wait. Then you got game, the meat of the hunt. Then the syllabic name. It got the modern Hebrew Arabic name for this letter. It got Tasad, and then you get Tazad. Well, again, we know ain't no vowel points in the Hebrew, but it says it's Tazah, meaning side. All right, so let's go to the next Hebrew word. This is one of my favorite ones. We're going to qua. We got the qua, right? And I always be able to understand this one. Like I either I drew this like I normally write it in the Hebrew for my qua. But how I look at that, I just think of the sun horizon, or the sun getting ready to go away over the horizon or come up over the horizon. That's how I look at it, because that's what it look like at the horizon line or the perception line, and you got the sun basically disappearing behind it or coming up as the sunrise, sunset, depending on how y'all look at it. It says the qua, most of the pictographs used for this letter, and it got what I just showed y'all, or something very similar, or kind of like a Q. That's what I was basically just showing, that the little writing I did, except it's like a Q with no hook, with no tail, right? It says The South Arabian pictograph has a similar pictograph of this. The Arabian form of how they trying to say what they think their letters are, right? Is this possibly depicting the sun at the horizon? See that? When rotated 90 degrees, a common shift in ancient letters. The original form of this letter was probably, and they turn it sideways, and that's what it looked like. It looked exactly like that, right? Then it goes into reflecting the meaning of the Hebrew words derived from quaf, meaning go around and revolution of the sun. Look at that there. Is the metonymic meaning sun from its circles through the sky, marking the times and season. Horizon, see that? From the rising and setting of the sun. And that's what I said. Condense, and this is from the condensing of the light when the sun rises or sets. There you go too. Circle from the arching of the sun and the sky. Time as a revolution of the sun. That's beautiful, man. And again, this is one of my favorite ones. The qua. It says then it got it goes into it got a parent root, and it's more modern Hebrew and Arabic name for this letter. It got a parent root with the quafa, as I was saying, meaning circle or go around. You know what I'm saying? So Khan, that's beautiful. All right, let's go to the next Hebrew word. We got the Ra. The Ra. Right? The Ra. The Ra. Right? You see Ra, and it look like a little man head, right? And the pictographic form, the ancient picture is they got a man head, like a skull. It says, or a noggin, how can I say it? It says the head of a man. See that? It says the metonymic meaning. So when you look in this in the form that I wrote it in, it kind of like a let me see, how can I say it? An incompleted backwards R. Right? Because an R normally go like this, and this you just going right. And if I put another letter there, it'll be an R. If I put that little diagonal line right there, it'll be a backwards R. But just think of it being a backwards R, and this doesn't have, it's not finished. It's an unfinished R that's backwards. And that's how I look at it. And that unfinished R that looks backwards like a man's head facing this way. So so I don't know if that's edifying enough for y'all to understand that when you see the Ra, just think of a backwards R, but the R that's backwards, that's unfinished, like a man's head turned this way. You know, Lord willing, that makes sense, right? It says the metonymic meaning is it got the top beginning first as the top of the body, chief, the head of the tribe, and you hear brothers also say the Ra'ash or the Rosh, meaning head, the chief, right? Head of the camp, right? It says the role of the chief, needy, poor, one in need of ruling from the chief, right? So when you see the Ra, you see a man head facing this way, or backwards R to symbolize that. An incomplete backwards R to symbolize the man head facing this way. It goes to the head of a man that's a leader, right? Just like the goes into the strongest animals, strongest wood, right? So this Ra goes into a leader, a chief, the head of a tribe, right? It says ruling from the chief, possession, inheritance, decided by the chief. And the syllabic name, the modern Hebrew name for this letter, it's got the Rasha, right, meaning head, or the Ra'ash, as we always say, because you don't want to say you got to take a syllable off, so the Ra'ash, right. It says Khan, and all these words are really just going into the A, B, you know, and you ain't got the C's, but you got the D, the G, and stuff, etc., etc. So let's we got two more, and it's long for it being so long, I had to edify the best of my ability. But we got the Shah next, and to me, I always be able to understand this because it look like either teeth, like these teeth, or it look like, how can I say, tooth from a comb, or like a W. And that's how I always remember it when I'm looking at it. So to those of you that when y'all see and y'all can't remember, just remember that it might look like a W, or it look like teeth. Just think of your two front teeth. Think of Bugs Bunny's teeth, right? And that's what it looked like. And see, some big ass front teeth, right? Excuse my French, but some big front teeth. And it goes into the pictographic form, the ancient picture. You got the Shah is the two front teeth. See, it's your two front teeth, man. The metonymic meaning sharp, pressed, the function of the teeth, cleft as a tooth, ivory, the tusk of the elephant as teeth, two, duplicate, repeat, double second again as the two front teeth. Then it's still a big name. The modern Hebrew and Arabic name for this letter is the shin or the shan, meaning teeth. So we got the sha'an, right, from the za'im, if I'm not mistaken. But so it's going into that, but we know ain't no eyes in the Paleo Hebrew, right? Ain't no e's, ain't no vowel points, so that sheen is the shah, right? Meaning teeth, and it's got and last but finally and not least, the tha, right? You got the tha, right? And then other people might say the tav, but it's tha, and it's like a cross. It's like a cross, for better words, or X, right? Which I'm about to bring out a video after this, after I get done with the brothers and everything. But I'm about to bring out another video talking about the Alaf and the Tav, talking about the Alpha and the beginning and the end, talking about the Ah and the Tha, dealing with this solar eclipse. So stay tuned with that, right? It says pictographic form, the ancient picture like a cross is a type of mark. See that? X marks the spot. Probably of two sticks, right? Cross to marketplace, similar to the Egyptians' hieroglyph of two sticks. That's like a cross, right? That is two cross sticks, right? Two cross sticks. The metonymic meaning mark, sign, signature, identification, as a marker to identify people, places, or things. It's like it. Room, desert dwelling as marked. So this goes into a marker. The tha is, for better words, a marker, a mark of identification, for better words, dealing with people, places, or things. And I ain't gonna say nothing about it, but it's gonna be a beautiful lesson on that the solar eclipse, dealing with the ah and the tha. So again, what did we learn today, Israel? The ah means strength. The ba means house or tent. The ga means foot, or as I was saying, for better words, how can I say it? It's like a camel hump. You know what I'm saying? But if it's easier for you to remember it as a foot, the God's foot, right? Something that walk, gather, and carry, right? And you need your feet to be able to walk. You need your feet to be able to carry what you just gathered. So besides your arms, but you need your feet to get you to the destination. So the da goes into that door, right? The ha is a man sign or raising his hands up to the skies, giving all praises, right? The wa is a tent for it to hold down the ropes of the tent, or for better words, tent pegs, And the za looks like a unfinished, how can I say, an unfinished sickle, right, or garden tool. We got the ta goes to like the inside of a basket to remember it. The ya, it look like an arm and a hand, as I was saying. We got the ka, like a backwards K, right, which goes into palm, right. And you got the la, which is the shepherd's staff, right. The ma, which is the waves of the ocean. The na, which is again sperma or the seedling sprout of a plant. And it goes to generations, right? We got the sa goes into a thorn bush, or better words, protection of thorns, right? I ain't losing anybody. And again, you got the gan, which goes to eye, and it goes into watching, right? And the pa goes into mouth, right? The taza or the taza goes to a man laying down, right? A man laying down setting up traps. A man laying down waiting on his prey. As I said, a sniper rifle, right? It just depends. You got the qua, the sun horizon, or the sunrise or the sunset, right? That line of perception with the sun behind it, either rising or going down, man. Right. The Ra, you got the head of a man that's a leader, looking this way. Or you can symbolize it as a unfinished backwards R. Right. But still like a man's head. It's a man's skull looking this way. Right. It goes into the Ra'ash or the Rosh. Ra'ash, right? Then we got Shah, and like the two front T right here, or a W, depending on the form you see it in. Then we got last but not least the Tha, right? And it goes into two sticks crossed over like a cross, man. Like a cross, man. And it means to mark. It means a signature, right? To identify something, right? So, hey, man, this is a long needed lesson that I've been meaning to do. Again, brothers, it's one more that I gotta get. It's like a three collection series with these books. You got the Hebrew language and the alphabet, and it goes to the understand the ancient Hebrew, right, and the culture and the thoughts. And then, but you always got the lexicon. It goes into defining like words and roots, right, within the cultural context. And there's one more book to add on to both of these. I forget the name of it. I think it's a dictionary. I think. Because this lexicon, if it's not the dictionary, it's something else. I have to look. I got it actually in my cart. So I advise brothers to look into Jeff A. Boehner or to look into any other ancient Hebrew that will be edifying, right? Because again, I watch a lot of the big bros videos, Elder Monagon and the big bro Elder. He's not an elder, but he will be soon. The Lord will, if the Lord will it. Watched the elder Monagon videos, and I also watched the big bro Kazaki Allah, GMS Mississippi. Those were the two main how can I say the two main Hebrew speaking Israelite men that I actually learned from. And I learned from it fast, man, like very fast, man. I learned the Hebrew quicker than I did that I'm trying to learn Spanish, man. Spanish is real hard. So oh yeah, Khan, thought of you, how about Shemal Shah? So okay, Khan, as I was saying, I'm gonna go back over this one more time, and you can see some of my letters that I did. As you see the ba, ga, da, ha, wa. You got the za, the kha, the Slakia, a little too close. The ta, and you got the ya, the ka, the la, ma, na, sa, Slakia, taza. Salaki. No, that's the sa. Then you got the ah. Then you got the pa. Then you got the taza. Then you got the kwa, ra, sha, da. And I wanted to show that it's a little different when I wrote it down. Like compared to how it is over here, this the pictographic forms of them, right? And you know what I'm saying? To those brothers and sisters that can't really read the ancient form of it, I brought another form that is still ancient. It's still ancient. So Slakia, still ancient, but it's a little different. You see, as I was talking about earlier, that doorway, I make a triangle for the doorway of the tent. Then it's certain different ones, you know what I'm saying? So brothers and sisters, check that out, right? So, hey, Lord willing, this was edifying, man. And again, the I goes into strong power leader. The Ba goes into family house or inn, being inside a house or a tent. Then you got the Ga goes into foot, gather, walk, carry. The Da goes into tent door, move, hang, enter. You got the Ha goes into arms raised, look, reveal, Sa. You got the tent peg, which is the it's like it. The Wa. You got the tent peg, which is the Wa, the add, secure, hook. And you got the Za, which is the it's a matic. That's what it was, a matic. A matic. I don't know if your brothers and sisters know what that is. A matic. It's you got meaning, food, cut, weapon. Right, then you got the Kha, tent wall, outside, divide, half. Right. In Sri Lanka, if I was I think I had said the ah means 1,000, or for better words, one. Um, so let me keep going. So I can't get the wrong thing. It's 1. You got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 200, 300, 400 is what I got written down. So I assume um, I was being pretty accurate with what I was learning during the time I was writing this. And Lord willing, enough to edify me correcting that. And they got the tar is the clay basket surround contain. You got the mud, right? Because there's a mud basket they use to make it. Then you got the yah again, sideways arms and hands, closed hands, throw worship, right? Then you got the ka, the open palm, bend, allow, tame, right? Then you got the la, the shepherd staff, teach, yoke, to and bind, right? You got the ma, it's waters of the ocean, chaos, mighty blood. So it's all that's what this some of the symbolizations that it can mean. Then you got the na, the sprouting seed, continue, air, sun. Then you got the sa, thorn, goes into thorn. It got means to grab Dougie. Go sit down somewhere, bro. You got the thorn. You got the grab, hate, protect. As I was saying, it was a protection of thorns, protection, right? Because they use thorns to protect the sheep, right? Thorn bushes to keep predators out. Because predator don't want to get poked, but trying to get some food, right? Then you got the gun, goes into being able to be watchful, right? It says to watch, no shade. Then you got pa, open mouth, blow, scatter, edge. And the edge is the edge of the lips, and the blow, still using lips. You can blow on something and scatter it, still using your lips, right? Then they got the next one, the tazah. And again, as you see, my tazah is different. It's same tazah, but I got a line with a Z on it, like a Z, instead of it being like a man laying on the side. Mine look more like how can I say? Like I was getting ready to put something like a slash with the Z, like I was getting ready to write something like that. But that's how I always taught myself to write it. So Solanke, if that's confusing to anybody. Then you got the next one. Okay, it's the Shazah, the man on his side, the wait, chase, hunt, right? Then you got the Qua, it's horizon, condensed circle, time, right? Then you got the Ra, head of a man, first, beginning, top. Then you got the Shah, two front teeth, sharp, press, eat, two, right? And that with that two is the two front teeth again. Then you got the Tha, the last but not least, the cross sticks, man, right? Mark, sign, signature, right? And then some of this, if you read up in my Thawara in the Torah, the first 5 books of Moses in the Hebrew, the way it's spelled the second way. That way I got it. That's how it's spelled during that time. It's spelled the second way I got it written down on this. But if you get into it, got parts that'd be like let me see. Let me just break it down something. Give me 1 second. Byra Shayath, Byra, and Alahain Nabu. Then it'd be like Hashemayim Harataza. But then behind it might say Atha, or it have a et in it. That just means Atha. That means that it's pertaining to something, right? And that's why it's a preposition. And that's why I'm gonna bring that definition out. The Atha or the et is a preposition used to introduce a direct object, also used when direct objects is a proper noun. So when you see that, if you hear brothers like, for instance, like it's a blood brother, the Rock Our Bar, he got a lot of music out. But one of his music songs, you hear him speaking from the books of Moses. You hear him speaking a chapter out of Moses, or a verse out of one of the first 5 books of Moses. I have to go back to the song, but you'll hear him say "Atha," and that's what it is. He was introducing. That preposition was about to introduce something that he was talking about, and that's why you hear brothers say that. You even hear me say "Atha" sometimes in some of my Hebrew prayers. So again, this I didn't want to keep it too long. I just wanted to bring out this, and the Lord willing, it's edifying to the hopeful elect out there. I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Hawakodash. All praise to Heavenly Father, who the word only calls God. His one true name is Yahweh. In the name of His only begotten Son, His one true name is Yahushua. In the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the elder apostle and the bishops of great millstones through well. Peace, blessed to the hopeful elect. Call Alayim love, Alahana, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Hawakodash, Babakashah, Wow. And the Lord burn this place up. Shalom. Throughout for tuning in again. Hope this wasn't too long-winded. Hope you learned a lot today. Hey, shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.